So nearly 4 years ago now, I gave up alcohol, just cold turkey. And it was an incident that occurred 3 days later. I was walking to the fridge to get a beer. It was a Saturday afternoon. I was home by myself. The family had gone away. And I was walking to the fridge to get a beer, hot Saturday afternoon. I stopped myself in my tracks, and at the same time the thought entered my mind, exactly the same time I pirouetted and turned the other way and walked away from the garage fridge. And I didn't touch a drop of alcohol for probably about 9 months. And then I was able to appreciate, well, I won't say appreciate because that's not the right word to use here. I was then able to have a drink to celebrate whatever occasion it was. But I can certainly go weeks, months without needing to touch alcohol. About 6 months after I stopped drinking, it was 3.5 years ago, so the beginning of 2021, and my partner of 15 years dropped the bombshell that she wanted to separate. We had 3 kids, I still have 3 kids, and that was a huge moment. The thing that really helped me get through that period and continue to get through it, even though I'm over it, but there still is a period of navigating the co-parenting environment as well. But the thing that really got me through it was the fact that I didn't drink. And as much as I grieved and cried and questioned what I did wrong and all of those natural responses to a traumatic experience like that, one of the things that really helped me get through relatively unscathed was the fact that I hadn't been drinking, so I wasn't compelled to use alcohol as a coping mechanism. After the separation, it took about 12 months to really get through the initial phase. We were still living together under the same roof, co-parenting, while we were figuring out the finer details of the separation. Another thing that helped me get through it was reading or listening to the audiobook of The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. And the reason why that was so helpful was, as a result of the separation, I kept projecting myself into the future, and I was creating all of these worst case scenario narratives about where I was going to be and what I was going to be doing. And that didn't help, obviously. So I needed to bring myself back into the present, get my head out of the future, reduce that anxiety, and as a result, I was able to be more present for my children. I was able to be more present for myself. It was still difficult, but here I am 3.5 years later after the separation. I've been over 12 months now living in my own place. That's another video for another time. It can be tough going through a separation, especially when you don't expect it, especially when the other person initiates it. In retrospect, there were certainly telltale signs that the relationship was far from perfect, what relationship is, but it seemed like it had run out of steam, and there were various moments leading up to the separation that would have helped my partner or ex-partner cement her decision. And then what I have gradually learned to do as well is to turn that situation into an opportunity. And that's another video for another time as well. Staying present in the moment is the most important thing, I feel, for situations like that, even life in general as well. I'm not going to put a label on that. I don't want to categorize or compartmentalize that approach to living, except to say trying to stay as present as possible. Anxiety comes from worrying about the future, and depression comes from worrying about the past. So being mindful in the moment, in the present moment, is certainly something that can help navigate situations like this.